Sziasztok and welcome to my channel. Today I'm inspired by Nikki Tutorial's channel. She just started a series which she named Face Match, I believe. And in the first episode she made a look with the Kiki W and Mario palette. In the first episode was the challenge is create a look with all of the shade from this Kiki W and Mario palette. So that's why I thought about, let's make this challenge, but not with a Kiki W palette or Mario palette. I'm gonna make this challenge with my lovely and my favorite Sigma palette. You saw I create various of looks with this palette because this is my favorite, but I never ever used for a look all of the shades. So this is gonna be kind of interesting. I really enjoyed to play with this thought actually, so I'm really excited to use all of the shade to one look. Let's get started, guys, because it's gonna be kind of interesting, I think. And if you're new here in my channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because that's how you're gonna notified by the YouTube every time when I am uploading. So don't be afraid to subscribe. I know my channel is a really small channel right now, but of course the channel only can grow with your helps and your lovely subscribes, so I really appreciate every thumbs up and every subscriber, so please subscribe and let's get into this. Okay, and now coming the fun part, after I look like a weirdo because I do my brows and I just... what? So I do my eyeshadow base, which is only a concealer, and I fix with a little bit of powder. I did this and I did my brow, and now I'm gonna start with the challenge. First shade which I'm gonna use is this. This is a nice transition shade called Toasty, and I'm take a fluffy and a little bit flatter fluffy brush, and I'm gonna top off the excess and start with my crease. This is a nice warm transition shade, so I only just put onto my crease and a little bit above my crease. I build a little bit more color to the actual crease area, and again just blend back and forth. And then I know it's a little bit weird pair, but I'm gonna continue with this shade which called Passion Fruit. This is a nice pastel pink shade, kind of berry shade, and I'm really just use from it a little bit, a teeny tiny bit, and I just move a little bit this look with this color to the pinkier side. So I did this before in my channel in the springtime look, the 2018 springtime look, and I just noticed that these two shades gives me a really pretty peachy shade together. So if I blend them together, so I go for this peachy color which I created with the Toasty and the Passion Fruit. And now I'm gonna move on with this nice red shade called Vogue, and I just start to deepen it up my crease. Not a huge amount, but a little bit more from this shade. And I try to keep it lower on my crease, but a little bit lower at the first time. And after almost nothing on my brush, I just start to gently blend it out with circular motions, and then again back and forth on my crease area. And I add a little bit more. So yes, I see something like that in my mind when I imagined what I want to create from this palette in this challenge. So let's repeat it on the other side. And now I'm gonna move on to the next shade, and this is gonna be the henna. This is a really warm chocolate brown shade from this palette, and I love it. I almost use it every day to deep up my crease a little bit, and today I think I'm gonna use just a little bit from it to really deep up my crease, because I don't want to lose this beautiful bright red shade from my lid, so I'm not gonna use too much. And then yes, I'm using the same brush. I usually do this because this makes easier to blend together all of the shades, so I use only one brush yet. I used 1, 2, 3, 5 shades now, and now I'm gonna move on to the 6th shade, which is the russet. This is a burgundy color, and maybe this is the time when I have to use a smaller brush, which is a flat, almost a flat shader brush, but it's a little bit more fluffy. Take a little bit from the russet and apply to my inner and outer corner as well. Yes, it's gonna be kind of a halo eye, I believe. I hope it's gonna be work. My camera just died during all of this thing, but I believe it's recorded the last step what I did, which was the russet. And now I'm gonna take my blending brush and gently, really gently, I'm gonna blend out the russet edges like this. I really don't want to blend it with too much. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of concealer, put it to the center of my eyes and look up, and now I can see where is my crease, which is nice. Cut my crease but just on the middle of my eye. And now I'm gonna move on to the shimmery shades in the center of my eye. And to the shimmery shades apply, I'm gonna use a little bit of Optrex. This is a regular eye trap, but with this handy spritz head on. And I take a flat brush and just spritz a little bit eye drop on it. And I'm gonna move on to the bittersweet, which is a nice copper golden shade, and I'm gonna put it into the center of my eyelid. with this flat shader, like this. And again, spritz a little bit with the eye drop, because it's a little bit dry. And take a little bit from bittersweet. And now I'm gonna turn my flat brush and spritz again a little bit of with the eye drop, and I'm gonna move on to the shade which called Iconic. This is also a shimmery shade, but it's a little bit more brownish. I'm gonna put on right next to the bittersweet. And now I move back to my original blending brush and I gently blend a little bit the inner and outer corner, and I just realized this is too big, so I take a smaller blending brush. Now I'm gonna clear it up a little bit with a regular micellar water, because it has a little bit of fallout because I applied a lot of shade. And I just want to cut a little bit more the edges, like this. And now I'm gonna move on to the lower lash line, but first I'm gonna apply my concealer under my eye. Where is my concealer? I used it, yes. So, concealer under my eye. And now we're gonna move on to the lower lash line, which is gonna be the tricky one, because 5 shades left, so these 3 and these 2 in the bottom. So yes, this is gonna be a tricky one, but first I'm gonna take the After Hours, which is a matte dark brown from the bottom. So I take it with a flat definer brush and I'm gonna apply it as close to my lash line as it's possible. And now I'm gonna take a smaller blending brush and with the shade, a tiny bit of the shade Toasty, I really tap off the excess, and I'm gonna blend out the After Hours. And now I'm gonna move on to the tricky part, because I want to use a glittery shade which called Fool's Gold in this palette, this greenish olive shade, and I wanted to use it on my lower lash line, which is maybe absolutely a mad idea, but I'm going for it. I apply it to my lower lash line. I know this is maybe a mad idea to apply a glittery shade to the lower lash line, but you know what? Makeup is an art form, and in art no rules. And now I move back to my blending brush and just gently blend out this shade too. Now I'm gonna move back to the After Hours and a little bit deepen up to my lower lash line again. we left 3 shades which we have to use. And now I'm gonna use Charmer and Humble, these 2 shades, in my inner corner. And now maybe I'm gonna cheating a little bit because I'm gonna use Beaming to highlight my cheeks. So I'm not gonna use on my actual eyelid because this is probably gonna do much. So I think I just passed the challenge right now. And now I'm gonna move on to the fun part, and I'm gonna create the whole look because it's a little bit weird right now. But I'm gonna create a wing line. I think the actual look is need a little bit more darkness under the eyes, so I'm gonna use a black pencil and line my waterline. Now I'm gonna use a mascara. I'm gonna use my Essence / Princess one. So that's it, guys. I think I passed in the challenge and I actually really enjoyed it. So it was so much fun and I hope you really enjoyed it too. And if you do, give it a thumbs up and I'm gonna make some more challenge. But now that's it. See you later, guys. And before you leave, don't forget to subscribe. Sziasztok!